Hello and welcome back to another episode of Ruining Your Childhood.
Welcome back to another episode of Ruining Your Childhood, one sculpt at a time. Today we're going to be taking another beloved cartoon character and asking the very important question, what if he had pores? Yes, that's right, today we're going to be sculpting the pink-hatted, emotionally neglected, fairy wish-abusing legend himself, Timmy Turner. Now, if somehow you lived through the 2000s without watching the Fairly OddParents, Timmy Turner is a 10-year-old kid with a pink hat, neglective parents, sadistic babysitter, and two magical fairy godparents who grant him basically unlimited wishes, which raises a lot of questions. 1, why doesn't he ask for better parents? 2, why doesn't he ask for $1 trillion? And 3, why doesn't he ask for a normal head shape? Which happens to be what we're working on now. Starting off with a ball of clay, I sliced off the top and back portions of it, leaving him with a very flat oblong shaped head before taking a set of pre-baked dies, cramming those into the proper position, before moving on to his upper lip. I went ahead and pre-manufactured this little piece that looks kind of like a B-2 Spirit stealth bomber. I then stick that underneath the eyes, then using a silicone sculpting tool in my fingers, I go ahead and blend in that top portion. Now Timmy turntables need some eyelids, so we're going to go ahead and flatten out a few pieces of clay, laying those over top of the eyes. Once I got those into their right position, I go ahead and blend that in. As for his lower lids, I went ahead and just rolled out a noodle of clay, laying that underneath the eyes, then using my X-Acto knife, I go ahead and slice off those little excess bits on the side before taking my silicone sculpting tool and blending those in. Now I still want to keep true to that bulging eye look, but we do need to build up his forehead a little bit, so for this I'm going to be taking a couple nugs of clay, sticking it above his eye. This just gives the face a little bit more depth and also tucks in those eyelids. As for Timmy Squirmer's nose, we're going to be taking a small ball of clay, kind of tapering it off on one end, and then taking this very small ball stylus, poking in some nostrils. I can then take the nose, apply that to the face, and using the same nostrils, I go ahead and blend that in. I go in with this wedge-shaped sculpting tool to do a little bit of blending and refining, and leaves us in a good position to go onto his glorious big old beaver teeth. I made these bad boy beaver teeth off camera using some translucent clay. I really like the way that this translucent clay kind of yellows when it hardens. I feel like it gives it a pretty decent tooth look. As for Timmy Two Step's ears, I went ahead and took a ball of clay, smashing it flat before slicing it in half, giving it a quick little refined shape, then using a ball stylus, I go ahead and give it that inner ear detail. Once we're done tickling the inside of Timmy's ears, we have a pretty good head shape, so we could go ahead and pop it in the oven. And with little Timmy's head back and baked from the oven, we could go ahead and start bulking up that body. I went ahead and drilled that little hole in the bottom that we're going to be inserting this piece of armature wire in. This is just going to give the sculpture a little bit of structure. After sliding that dank nug of clay onto that piece of armature wire, I do a little bit of shaping before taking the back end of my X-Acto knife to draw on the bottom part of his t-shirt. Once I got that t-shirt line drawn in, we could go ahead and start carving out his legs. Now Timmy Testicles has a bad case of micro legs, so we are going to be staying true to that, making his legs nice and stumpy. So once I get that chunk of clay sliced out of this crotchal region, we could go ahead and take the back end of my X-Acto knife and my fingers and refine those legs to give him, well, legs. I like to use the back end of my X-Acto knife to add wrinkles. I feel like it does a pretty good job of giving it a natural looking wrinkle on the clothing. Once I added a few of those, we could go ahead and start adding his feet. As for those feet, I went ahead and just pinched off the bottom of his pants, pulling them forward. After getting a basic shoe shape, I could go in with my X-Acto knife just to refine the pant line a little bit better, and then also using the side of it to give it a little bit more detail. I went ahead and did the exact same thing for the other shoe, before moving down to the bottom of it to add in the heel. The reason I use the back end of my X-Acto knife is that way it prevents me from cutting too deep into the clay. But now that we're done with his pants and feet, we could go ahead and move back up and work on his shirt. For this, we're going to be taking a flattened out piece of clay, wrapping it around the bottom. Once I got things lined up, I go ahead and slice the excess bit off, then blend that seam in. I then go around with my fingers, blending in the top portion of that piece of clay, leaving that bottom line nice and crispy. Now that we got Timmy's lower section complete, we could go ahead and start adding on his arms. Off camera, I went ahead and snipped off these little snippets of armature wire. These are going to be making up the main structure of his arm. I went ahead and coated them in some liquid Sculpey before burrito wrapping it in a flattened out piece of clay. Once I got that clay pinched nice and tight, we could go ahead and go in with my X-Acto knife, slicing off all the excess bits of clay. I could then go in with my fingers just to blend in that seam. And just to make sure we have something for the hand to stick onto, we're going to be cutting off the little tip. To save a little bit of time, I went ahead and made the other arm off camera, so we can now go ahead and start on his hands. To start things off, I went ahead and rolled out a ball of clay, then smashing it flat. Went ahead and sliced off a little side part, making sure I save it because I'm going to be using it as the thumb, but I went ahead and cut in little fingers. After a little bit of refining, we could go ahead and stick those onto the end of the wrists. Once we get those crammed on, we do a little bit of reshaping, and we got ourselves a couple of little arms. Hello. I can then take thus arms and stick them into the side of his body. I was pretty happy with the position of this, and so all we have next is to add his sleeves. Much like the bottom of his shirt, I'm going to be taking some flattened out pieces of clay, wrapping it over top of the arm. I then take this wedge-shaped silicone sculpting tool and I start to shove it underneath the arm to give it a sleeve-like shape, and then use my finger to blend that in. I then go to the other side doing the exact same thing. I then go in with a variety of different sculpting tools to add some detailing to the pants and shirt just to make the thing pop a little bit more. And with that, we have the sculpt complete, so we can go ahead and pop it in the oven for its final bake. And with Timmy tortellini back and baked from the oven, we could go ahead and start the painting process. I always like to start my paint jobs by giving the entire thing an initial base coat of its initial base coat colors. Starting with the pants, I went ahead and gave it a nice navy blue. His shoes were also the same color in the cartoon, but we're going to be taking some artistic liberties and making them a little bit darker.
Look at this guy, crazy guy.
And to get Timmy Terminator's pink shirt, I went ahead and mixed up 3 different colors, white, cadmium red, and of course pink. And it was at this point in the build that I realized I didn't even film myself making his hat. But here it is, so anyway, now that we got Timmy's clothes completely painted, we could go ahead and start painting his skin. And to achieve this jaundice-inspired skin tone, I went ahead and mixed up 3 different colors, starting with unbleached titanium, dark flesh, and the tiniest amount of cadmium red. When I'm painting his skin, I always like to make sure I water down the paint nice and thin, that way I can build up multiple layers. This just helps get rid of all those paintbrush marks. Now that we got the base coats completed, we could go ahead and start making this guy come alive. If you've been here a while, you know the drill. We're gonna blanket party this guy with some washes and dry brushing.
But if you haven't been here a while, hit the subscribe button.
We're gonna start things off by using a crimson red wash, going over all the highlighted areas such as the eyes, ears, mouth, nose, head, shoulders, knees and toes, basically anywhere where the body moves a lot. Once we got this nasty defilement of nature, we could go in and start gussying up his clothing by adding some dark pink washes onto the under part of his arms. Also drag a few lines across his belly and back to help indicate wrinkles. I took a piece of cloth and wiped those across just to help blend those in. And to finish off the clothing, I just went ahead and went over the top of both the pants and the shirt with a lighter dry brushing of that initial color, just to help bring out some of the texture in the clothing that I added off camera. And to finish off Timmy Turner's paint job, all we have to do is add his eyes. Now in the cartoon, all the humans only have the color part of their eye, not the actual pupil, and I spent a significant amount of time debating whether I should make his eyes look like they were cataracts or if I should just add a pupil, but I ended up just adding the pupil because I felt like it fit the mission the best. And with the paint job complete, we're now on to the most dreaded part of the entire build, the part where I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to do it, and that is adding his hair. I always like to try to add real hair to my character. I always feel like it gives it a little bit more of an elevated look, so we're going to be trying to achieve that today. My process for adding hair is I use this stuff called Fabric Fusion. It's a fabric glue, but it happens to stick the hair to the sculpture pretty well. And once I have the hair all glued down and built up in layers, just go around trimming it and using my fingers to give it a little bit of shape. And once I was happy with how the hair was looking, all I have to do is add his little hat. And with that and a little bit of off-camera detailing, we're onto those JCPenney glamour shots. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and also leave a comment down below of who you would like to see me sculpt next. I'll see you next time.